All right, now that that is up and started. So, I'm going at this non-script, no idea what I'm doing. First video. I figured we'd talk about Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk is getting a new update soon. And I got to say it's not looking that good. Now, in order for you to get a better understanding of my opinion, you have to understand where I'm coming from with Cyberpunk. I pre-ordered this game. I think about 2 months in advance of its, of its release. I was riding off of the high from Witcher 3. And yes, you might say, whoa, Witcher 3 came out a few years ago. The high was still there. It was still there. See, The Witcher 3, it took what I thought video games could be and completely annihilated that idea. I thought for a while that Skyrim was basically the pinnacle of what an RPG should be, could be, in terms of immersiveness in role playing. Maybe not solely just Skyrim, but one of the biggest leaders in immersion. I shouldn't say Skyrim. I should say Bethesda, because even though I'm not like the biggest fan of Fallout 4, its immersion was impeccable, and its role playing was really great when in terms of leveling up and tracking your stats and whatnot. And for the most part, Witcher 3 was an equal to that. Oh, I did not mean to kill you. Um, yeah, so basically, I had high expectations for this game, and I was hyping it up, man. I was like, oh, it's gonna come out when it's ready, like the trailer said. And let me tell you, the first 2 weeks, I would say about first week of me playing, it was horrible, dude. It was the worst thing I have ever experienced in my life in terms of video gaming. But on the flip side, it was also one of the best. Um, Obviously, performance is what I'm talking about. The game performed horribly. And when I say horribly, I mean I was stuck on the Johnny Silverhand quest. The part where you're riding your little helicopter and you're shooting at, you know, your targets on the roof. He wouldn't land after I killed everyone. It didn't matter how many times I loaded the game, um, rebooted the game. It just wouldn't. It wouldn't go past that point. I had to actually restart the game, like new story. I got up to there, and it happened again. And again, the only way to fix it was to start a new story. And you wouldn't fucking believe it. It happened a third time. As you could probably imagine, I was extremely frustrated with the game, with that problem, I should say, because I was having so much fun with it. Um, it would load horribly. Textures would take a year to load, but at the core of what it was trying to be, I enjoyed it. I really did. Um, but as much as I enjoyed it, the more and more I played it, the more and more I'm like, man, I cannot justify this pre-order. Granted, I pre-ordered it through Amazon, got a physical copy. I bought it for $49.99 plus tax, so I think I paid $54, some change. It came with some goodies, whatever. I could not justify my purchase on this game, and that really fucking blew, because CDPR, as long as I can remember, has been an extremely consumer-friendly company. Mind you, the first time I ever heard of them was with Witcher 2, and I didn't even play Witcher 2 because I didn't have a PC at the time, and then I was finally able to play Witcher 3 when it released on PS4. And that game, when it first released on PS4, was kind of a buggy mess as well, but nowhere near as bad as this. But then again, they also had time to finish the game before it came out on the 4. But man, the standard that they put on themselves with that, it buried them, because this did not feel like a CDPR game to me. There were some instances where I'm like, yeah, this feels like Witcher. This feels like, CD Projekt Red. But when the game freezes and crashes every 20 minutes, when I'm forced to restart my entire playthrough 3 times because your quest was stuck, when me having too many items in my inventory causes a crash. The hell? When it causes a crash, or it causes a save file corruption, that's just unacceptable. This is a game based on looting. How is it that having too many things in my inventory causes a corrupt file? Not to mention unsynced dialogue, muted dialogue. There's times where when I'm being spoken to, the person just stops. They just sit there staring at me. I mean, my goodness, the list can go on and on and on and on and on and on and on. But that was PS4 Pro. So I just recently got a PC. I built a PC. And let me tell you, this game feels completely different. It's it's like a whole nother game. There's still bugs and problems, but the performance issues are almost non-existent when compared to the console versions, or I should say the PS4 and Xbox One versions, because according to a friend of mine, it runs pretty well on PS5. But I mean, that's now because they just got the PS5. But that's besides the point. I gave it a chance, and another chance, and I completed it for a second time. First time was on PS4 after they fixed the main big huge bugs, and I was able to complete the game. I finished it again here, and some of the problems remained. But for the most part, everything's fixed, except for a few key things, which everybody knows about. And one of the biggest ones being the cop chases and the just basically how they act, how they spawn ridiculously. what they're doing in this update, in all reality, I'll show a clip of what they're fixing. It doesn't change anything. So, like, you can probably see in the video how when you shoot a civilian, the drone comes up. And it assesses the situation. And then the cops will come in afterward. They still spawn in front of you. All they did was increase the fucking radius. They just increased the distance from from where they spawn in relation to where you're at. By an extremely small margin. I'll show you. You saw the clip. Look at this. Let's go outside right now. Mind you, yeah, you see me just messing around in here. There's not really much left for me to do in this. All of this is mostly cars and then like really low side gigs. I just walk around and explore shit. Check this out. So that's a guy from the club. Let's get some cops coming. Oh, whoa, whoa, look at that. What? So the only real difference is that the drone comes out first. But guess what? They still spawn right by you. Look, you see that? Spawned right there. Look at that. I'm not making this shit up. It's in the game. You see it. All they did was make it so that they spawn a little bit further away. And then, look at this. Look at this pathetic excuse of a chase. Where are the cops? This is bullshit. Like, okay, and then let's talk about how, like, you were supposed to be able to choose your path and be who you want to be in terms of, like, who you affiliate yourself with. That's also bullshit. No matter what you start out with, whether it be Corpo, Nomad, or Street Kid, you will have the same interactions with all of the gangs. Everybody you talk to, you will have the same interactions. Yes, you can make slightly different choices, but at the end of the day, the only thing that really does change is your intro and your ending based on some of the choices you make. And then, of course, you know, they have the usual bug fixes, but I mean, I'm still playing an unfinished game. And these updates and these fixes that they have going on right now, they're not even fixes. They're just minor fucking tweaks, man. And it's fucking bullshit. You know what? Because this is not the same behavior that was... this is not the same behavior that I had or that was experienced with The Witcher 3. Those bugs that they had, the problems they had, they fixed them pretty quickly. I mean, granted, we're not as problematic as this, and maybe it's wrong to compare this release to the release of The Witcher 3, seeing as and how The Witcher 3 was originally a PC game, and then, you know. But I mean, come on. This is just inexcusable. It's unacceptable. Oh. I did not mean to do that. But anyway. Another news. Shit, am I still recording? Yes, I'm still recording. Okay. Oh, my battery's low. Fuck, my battery's low. Okay, well, I guess we'll have to end it there. So, yeah, that's it. So, just a quick little ender for my first video. Yeah, this channel is going to be dedicated to mainly whatever. There's not going to be an exact description for what I will discuss, play, or show you. I'm open to suggestions. If there are games that you want to see being played that aren't being played, let me know. If you want to ask an opinion or you don't, that's fine too. If you like or dislike, wait, I'm not gonna do that. Thanks for checking out my video. I hope you enjoyed it. I don't know why you would, but I hope you come to the next one. Take care.